She had been unmade. She remembered her old life in shadows and glimpses, disappointment, weakness, mediocrity. But now, the shade smiled to herself. She was mediocre no longer, and though she hated the weak, quivering thing that once occupied her body, she felt no real connection to it any longer. It was dead. Even its name was gone. There was only the shade. Now the problems were all external. She was surrounded by weakness, a world of it. Petty rivalries, backstabbing, cowardice, everyone living only to serve themselves or, even worse, living to serve masters. She would show them the way. Though her new body was strong and her new mind was sharp, these were gifts from the machine and they needed to be acknowledged. She was far from perfect, far from strong enough in a pure qualitative sense to make her move. She would need to diversify her efforts, collect the services of like-minded individuals, those who were strong of mind, who lived to serve strength and to grow and to build upon themselves. They could work together until she achieved enough that she no longer needed anyone at all. Allies were fundamentally disposable after all. At the same time, she would do what all of her peers did. Track the treasures of the machine, build herself weapons from the best of them, and learn. The difference, the key difference between her and the rest of them, was clarity of purpose. This would help her rise above. Now, the shade sat in a dimly lit bar flanked by drunken fools, and she watched sober fools beat each other bloody. It was a soothing pastime to her. Humanoid excellence on display in its purest form. They would punch and kick and dodge and block as if they were doing it only for her benefit. And every so often a fighter would rise above the rest. A person with clarity of purpose. A person who could become a resource. This is Pot Against the Machine.
Against the machine. Against the machine.
Welcome back to Pot Against the Machine, the only Pathfinder actual play that has the guts to realistically portray the experience of plugging something into a USB port. I'm your host, and here's everybody.
It just defies physics. Hello.
I was thinking about that as I plugged in my phone in my car the other day, and it was like on 1% and about to die, and I had directions up. So I was like, plug, plug, plug. And the third time it worked. And I thought, surely, it can't have been right the first time, but somehow it was. But also wrong.
Hello.
It's
So we
always
never had this problem with those giant, chunky, square USB-A ports.
Hi.
Last week in the program, the party, after escaping from the night market, examined their spoils, including the Cortex gun, which they used to augment Kira's already prodigious strength, and then returned to Mockery to, well, let him know what exactly had gone down, how they pulled off quite the caper, and possibly alerted the Technic League just the slightest bit. After that, they kind of snuck off into a side room, had a little conversation with Cassandra Lee, and hooked her up with the USB stick that enhanced her intelligence, which set off a little bit of a fracas amongst her various incarnations in the digital land, as some of them didn't want to be disciplined, and it was a discipline chip. Then everybody went to sleep, and the next day we found out that Drun's guards appeared to have been killed over at the night market and left behind as a sort of message or example. It's not exactly clear. The party, now worried a bit that they've gained the ire of the Technic League more than ever before. Of course, changed their disguises once more and went out into the city to ask around a little bit. They found out about the Shade, who likes to hang out over at the prize fights and occasionally, hires prize fighters off into her personal guard. She's kind of the eyes and ears or whip that takes people's heads off of the Technic League on the streets of the city, while it appears the Elias is another one of the Technic League guys who is hot on the trail of the party, or at least the previous incarnation of the party that did the thievery. After that, and the party decided they would come back to the Tarnished Tooth to check out the prize fights and perhaps even participate in them this evening. But before they do that, they're going to head to the Palace of Fallen Stars just to, poke around a little bit, I guess. That's where
First
we are now.
poke around, then we find out.
Let's poke. Poke around and find out. The old BNF. Oh. PAFO.
Yeah. I also totally remember exactly what happened last time, so I remember if this question got answered or not. But did we decide if they had any kind of fantasy metal detectors or anything that we had to hide our stuff even more than we're hiding from, or are we good to just walk in?
I think you didn't think that there were any fantasy metal detectors.
Yeah, I vaguely remember the question coming up, but I couldn't remember what the answer to it was.
We did talk about the Cortex gun and it being inside of the bag in extra dimensional space. That Sam asked explicitly about that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that we still have those badges too, but at this point I don't even know if that makes sense to whack those bad boys on and wield a chainsaw openly.
Yeah.
Have to be not this chainsaw.
Especially not in the house of the you don't take a chainsaw into the White House even if you have a badge that says I'm allowed to own a chainsaw.
You just wear the chainsaw protective pants in, and then everyone believes that it's safe for you to have a chainsaw. You've got the pants.
It's true.
Oh, I did forget to mention that right at the end of last week's episode, Kira just had a quick will save. That's probably nothing enough. She rolled really high.
I forgot about that.
It's
How
all
come anytime
cool.
we enter a new town, somebody tries to take over Kira's mind? This is the third time that's happened.
You don't know that that's what happened to
Leave my mind alone.
Well, I guess I should phrase it. Every time we enter a new town, Kira has to make a will save.
It's tradition. I think the Scrap Nation would be greatly upset if Kira didn't make a will save every so often with no explanation. Before we actually get involved in the palace here, what does everybody look like? Because it's been changing pretty often, and I want the listeners at home, and definitely not myself, because I remember, to have a clear view of what the party looks like.
Well, Kira looks like a octogenarian, as well she should, being 28. She is begarbed in a sweater, like a what are those ones? That cardigans,
Cardigan?
and a nice pair of slacks, and
Nice.
glasses with a chain.
Oh, and I'm trying to remember if Red-Headed Allowan was the one that went into the night market, or if that's the one I took after night market. Because if it's the one I took after night market, it's still Red-Headed Allowan with I think it was a green outfit. But if it's not, if that was what I wore to the night market, then I think he would maybe make himself look like him, but kind of like Keled. So maybe he'd have a little bit more tan skin, the black hair again, but not as shiny as he did when he did the red outfit, and maybe just change his features up a little bit.
Pretty sure I did brown hair, russet skin tone for this one, still ASMR.
And Tarazi is, of course, a bearded half-elf, as was previously stated. Generic features, just bearded.
Taraz is half elven.
Mhm.
Well, you're standing outside the Palace of Fallen Stars. Looming over the city like a great obscene monolith stands the decadent keep of the Black Sovereign of Numeria, the Palace of Fallen Stars. Its slick walls rise high and terrible, worn smooth in places by the passage of time, but jagged and rough in others where new additions have been built. The central structure is capped by an immense metal dome, while numerous squat towers rise around the circumference. Statues of the Black Sovereign adorn the facade or stand atop plinths, greeting visitors with scowls and threatening postures. There are, in front of you, huge wooden doors that, lead into the palace.
And they don't have like any guards in front of them or anything. It's just
There's a couple
doors.
guards outside, but they're just kind of chilling. They let people in. The palace is open to the public, or at least parts of it.
Is there one of those audio tours you can take by scanning a QR code with your phone?
There was, but then the technically got all weird about people taking the little headsets, so they pulled it all back.
It's a shame.
They're very protective.
We can take out that like little camera thing that we have and put it around one of our necks to like really show that we are tourists. That certainly won't get us thrown in technically jail.
Yeah, Kira's gonna gather everyone in front of the palace and take a selfie with the Cassandra iPad.
Perfect. Bix is gonna act like he's holding it up, even though it is completely straight.
just casually pull out the most advanced pizza technology in the entire city.
Robots swarm in from everywhere. The instant Cassandra emerges from the extra-dimensional space.
To be clear, she's not doing that. Thank you.
All right, we can roll for initiative right now.
Older and wiser. 15-year-old Kira, 100%. Doing it for the gram.
28-year-old Kira's just on Facebook.
Yikes, yeah.
When you open up the door, you find a long hall that leads into the palace, passing lined with columns. On either side stand statues made from old robots bound in thick iron chains. Somebody broke a bunch of robots and chained them up and made them into art pieces, perhaps to show a dominance over, robots. It's these guys here.
I'm envisioning the like Homer builds a grill in The Simpsons and inadvertently makes outsider art. Oh, gang, we also have telepathic bond. Just a reminder.
Yep.
Cast it right before we were heading in.
I'm gonna go see those dogs.
See a man about a dog.
Oh, I'm coming in too.
As you head past the initial entryway, you come into basically the main hall of the first floor of the palace, which is a great pillar-lined promenade. And it stinks in here, gang. It stinks of rancid meat. There are 3 people hanging from chains from the ceiling in here. One of whom appears to be dead. The other 2 are like alive, but perhaps only barely so. They're like wrapped up in chains and suspended from the pillars, a few of the pillars lining the hall here. There are large wolfhounds like patrolling the halls, walking around, just kind of doing dog stuff. And a couple of hill giants just kind of hanging out.
I would like to roll to pet the dog.
You got handle animal?
I sure do. I mean, I think I do. Let me check before I say that so confidently.
I got handle animal. I'm also gonna roll to pet the dog.
Yeah, I've got a plus 15 handle animal.
Plus 9.
Oh, that's an 8 on the die. for a, what is that, 23?
23, yep, which is 2 higher than my 21.
I don't know how you establish a DC for a handle animal. Looks like it's... Yeah, I mean, these dogs are just hanging out.
I'm trying to pet it / make sure it remembers me in case we get in a fight later. I don't know.
Well, since the dog has no contrary orders, and it's just kind of, hanging out, maybe waiting for a dead body to fall off a column, you can pet the dog.
I'm going to pet it so good. I'm going to 23 pet it.
Alwyn is going to pet the other one to the left.
The dog seems distrustful of Alwyn and kind of backs away from, the guy who's naturally repellent to animals.
Mm-hmm.
Showing a little bit of teeth and kind of just giving him space.
Yeah, that's what usually happens.
Is there any local or something that we could know why these people are hanging here?
You could roll a knowledge local.
Do they look like just Kelids, or do they look foreign, or?
They look like Kelids, probably.
Local.
That is a 32 from Brix.
Most
Is that a
likely,
knowledge loc?
Yeah, knowledge local.
10.
Most likely these are servants or palace staff or visitors who displeased the sovereign, or maybe the Technic League, or maybe somebody high-ranking in some way, and were slapped up here both as a punishment and as an easy means of just reminding people of the strength of the people who hold this palace.
Brixby telepathically will be like, what hangs above us is a reminder to not malign the sovereign or the Technic Lake in our current trip as visitors. Yeah. That would just drip on me. Can you see?
I'm gonna roll a perception check to check out Brixby's drip. I think that's what that means.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sounds about right.
I rolled a 1.
Brixby looks fine to Kira.
Which is still a 47.
Right, yeah, so 33, but still a 1.
Yeah, he definitely got something funky kind of dripped on him a little bit there.
Bricks.
Oh, gross. Yeah.
Do we want to roll local on the giants? Because that's a weird...
It does seem a little bit weird.
Let me see if I can get better than a 9 this time with my amazing +3 local. An 18.
24.
18 and a 24. I mean, it seems like it is definitely strange that hill giants have been brought in here or posted inside the palace. Chances are at some point along the way, the Kevoth Kul, or possibly the Technic League, it's not really clear, conquered a clan of hill giants, and rather than, wiping them off the face of Galarian, gave them a chance to survive as a kind of oversized guard. Nothing says intimidating quite like people who are twice the size of people.
Are there any other visitors? Is there a tour going on, or is it literally giants, dogs, and us?
I think that there's probably not really a tour, but there's people from town coming and going. I think there's a pretty heavy degree of traffic of people just bringing supplies and taking away waste and stuff, and other people just coming to visit. So it's a steady coming and going.
Before they took away the earpieces, where would David Attenborough tell us to go?
Well, there's all sorts of doors.
Yeah, do they have one of those big mall kiosk maps?
Well, conveniently, they've got things labeled such that you can tell by the color of the tiles on the floors whether you're in an area that's open to the public or not. You've got this yellow floor here, that means you're cool. If you see a gray floor, that means you're not supposed to be there.
I can't see color. Is that going to be a problem?
Isn't that just a night, or is that part of your blindness?
All of his vision is treated like dark vision, no matter what time of day it is.
Nice.
Oh, be careful, buddy. I mean, be careful, buddy.
Perhaps someone should travel with Alwyn, but we might split up so as not to be another party of 4.
Kira will gesture at Alwyn and be like, young man, or person, young person, come here. Let you guide me around.
Okay,
Wait.
ma'am.
But I'm secretly doing the guiding, she'll add in mental headspace.
With Brixby opening up a door on the west side of the room, it leads into a little 5-foot wide, 10-foot long, or 15-foot long hallway, and then another door. But if you crack open the door at the end of that hallway, you find yourselves in a bustling kitchen with employees and chefs rushing from fire to crates and barrels and prep tables, and just continuously running all around while an overseer is kind of standing up near the fire and yelling at everybody. You see an elf woman dressed all in black, looking very frazzled. She's covered in flour as she runs all around. It looks like a recently reformed murderer has found a new job as a chef, or at least a gopher in this kitchen. Everybody's calling each other chef, which is weird, and there's just a lot of screaming and people saying it's not good enough and throwing dishes in the garbage. It's basically the bear in here.
Yeah.
Just
I was
very
about to say, do we see
atmosphere.
Jeremy Allen White, but Kellid?
Yeah, it's Kellid. Jeremy Allen White is screaming at everyone, and it's
Jeremy Allen Fight.
Jeremy Allen Fight.
he's more intimidating because he has a lot of axes.
Looks like there's stairs that go up.
Yeah, and on the north side of the room there are stairs that go up.
In this little door. It's this little door sitch to the south.
Yeah, there's a little doorsy do that leads south into another hallway, which it's got a couple doors in it. One that goes south, and one that swings back around towards where you came from.
I saw gray tiles and panicked, Terezi says in his mind, and closes the door immediately.
As he opened it up, it looked like a cushions and fur lined room with several people, possibly in guard paraphernalia, just lounging and just having a little bit of a druggy time. But you didn't see anything because you're not allowed there. Somebody probably yelled at you to get out as you already were closing the door.
It's really dangerous that the only way to know if a room is cool is if you open the door first.
Yeah, but it had a "Have a Nice J" poster on the outside with a stoned smiley face, so I think that should have been our first indicator. Also, this is a beaded curtain, not a door.
It's just extremely dense beaded curtains. And going through to the south, it looks like you found a side gate that leads out of the palace along the west side. It's definitely a smaller, lesser used gate. Looks like the type of thing that is primarily for servants to come and go, ferry things in and out of the palace.
And it's unlocked?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and that door at the end, that just leads back out into the path surrounding the palace.
Just opening it for my fog of war for when we infiltrate later.
Makes sense.
Looks like there's this door to the east that I'm going to open.
Popping open that door to the east-south of the druggy room, you do see that it doesn't look like this is a publicly available area. It does appear to be empty, though. It looks like these are dog kennels.
There were no dogs doing drugs in there.
Oh, good.
The dogs are all very good. they would
And
know.
there's 2 doors on the south. We're going to fling open the western one, see gray tile, and see nothing, see nothing.
Looks like storage in there. But yeah, it doesn't look like you're supposed to be
Last
in
door. Aha, more yellow.
there. The last door there leads to a kind of L-shaped hallway that has several doors leading out of it. One to the south, and then one way back to the east, and one partway between that also leads south.
Do you want to do this one midway down the hallway?
Sure. I have a suspicion it's going to be grey like everything else in this central portion, but let's find out.
Oh, when you try that door, it appears to be locked.
Definitely not a lockpick challenge for visitors.
Yeah, that's fair. It's putting them away.
This door to the south here opens up into, it's clearly one of the tower rooms because it's a round operation. Appears to serve as a lounge for palace guards, as there are a number of guards relaxing here, 6 of them. And they've got a fire in this high ceiling chamber. The dome ceiling is about 30 feet high. Several thick chains hang from the dome, dangling cramped glaucite cages, where there are a couple of people who are dressed as palace guards in the cages hanging from the ceiling. They don't look dead. They don't look terribly poor off, but it's probably not the most pleasant existence. There is a pit in the middle of the room. It's not a fire, never mind. It's a pit that it looks like the cages can be lowered down on winches into. And the guards kind of perk up when they see people come in, and one of them says, can we help you?
Oh, sorry, I just thought yellow tiles were open areas. First time in the palace in a while. Didn't mean to intrude.
It's fine. This is, I suppose this is technically a publicly available room. It's just sort of, this is our chill hangout spot, and, it's just a little bit weird seeing civilians in here.
Fair enough. Totally fine to leave you to your chilling then.
Wait. I always wanted to be a guard. But it looks like you could also just wind up in a cage if you become a guard. If I were to become a guard, what would I do to avoid being put into a cage? And I'm happy to roll a bluff on that. It was a 34.
The 34 bluff, the guards kind of look at each other and they're like, well, distinguish yourself in battle and don't get in anybody's way, and just don't do anything that would piss off the sovereign himself, or one of the lieutenants, or of course Tech McCool, or the consort, or anyone important.
Excuse me, Tech McCool?
Tech McCool, the greatest NPC name in the history of Pathfinder.
Heck, McCool.
Tech McCool.
No, I'm assuming it was like Techna Cool or something, and it's somebody related to Kevin.
Yes.
But I'm also assuming it is now canonically Tech McCool.
The guy's name is Tech McCool. And
Heck, McCool.
Oh wow, it is just Tech McCool, but spelled fantasy.
bro's name is Tech McCool.
Fantastic.
Don't make fun of his name, or he will put you in a cage in the guard room.
My only question about him is, why is he not in charge of the technically?
Yeah, that feels like what he was born to do.
Brixby will use telepathic communication to the other two and say, I don't know if you're going to run into guards on your side, but we found a spot where they appear to be hanging out here, and maybe your more diplomatic ways might be able to finesse more information, perhaps, than Rosie and I.
Thanks, Bricks. We'll keep an eye
Will
out.
do.
Anyway, don't work too hard, or like some other, joke that you say to a room full of people who are on a well-deserved break.
Rise up and unionize.
Yes. Pull out my little red songbook, and
I don't know if that door to the east is supposed to be partially cracked, or if that's just a wall.
yeah, it's
Sitch.
I think it's a poorly drawn wall issue more than anything else.
Is it gray in there?
It appears that way. I just wouldn't know if it's actually closed.
Did that close
Yep.
it? Or is it still a little open?
No, it's closed now.
It's supposed to be closed. Sweet.
Is this another gray floor or yellow floor on this side, guard friends?
Well, I mean, that is, that's our leader's suite. That's where Tech McCool is. He's probably in there right now.
Well, does not sound like a public space, then I will let him stay McCool.
Yeah, I would steer clear. That does look like it's about the end of this side, other than that one door that led back to the west.
Uh-huh. Star wipe to Kira and Elwyn.
Hopping over to Kira and Elwyn's side.
So do we want to go through this door while they're checking that other side?
Yes, this seems like a good door to go through.
How come you're
Again,
doing the
I'm a
voice in your head too?
ghost. Oh, right. I'm young, but not that young. Okay. So can we open the... Is this door locked? Can we check the door? Let me perceive the
Old,
door.
but you're not that old. You don't think the world is sold. Just doing what you're told.
The door doesn't appear to be locked, and it looks like yellow floors on the other side. This room, which leads out into a tower, has doors leading to the north and south in it. There is also at the far end of it, what appears to be a religious shrine made with several stone benches surrounding a plain stone platform that looks like it's designed for, people to stand on it and give speeches. There is iconography on the walls that you might recognize from your time in the Choking Tower of a grim harvestman-like figure with a scythe that is partially made from what appears to be the bones of humans. This appears to be a temple of Xiphus. There is one man in here dressed in sort of priestly garb with long white hair and black robes, and he sort of looks over at you as you come in and says, "Oh, hello, children. Have you come to hear the good word of Xiphus?"
Children? I don't know who you're talking to, laddie, but I haven't been a child since you were knee-high to a Numerian insect.
Forgive me, I have misspoken. We are all children, to the gods, to the great and terrible mistake, and the first of all calamities, our Lord Xiphus. Of course, I did not realize your advanced age. You, of course, would know.
I would know. I do know. But why don't you tell my companion here, because they will not listen to me.
I'm very much interested in hearing about your religion, especially the whole thing about the universe being a mistake. That's kind of relevant to my interests.
Oh, yes, all of existence is truly a mistake, and all life exists only to be snuffed out. All life is for bitter suffering and untimely tragedy. The greatest thing to seek out is misfortune. But that is the trick, because you cannot seek it. It finds you when it chooses. When Xiphus himself decides that it is your time, you can never know until it is too late. The Grim Harvestman comes for you when you least expect it.
Oh.
So, it's just good stuff.
Some of that is very interesting, but some of it's kind of not.
I think it's all very interesting.
You're a priest of this Xiphus?
Well, technically, the Grim Harvestman does not particularly care for mortals and does not recognize any formal religion, but I am a practitioner and I am always willing to preach his good word or his calamitous word to any who will listen. And of course, I am ready to gather up the broken pieces when he does his work.
Owen is liking this guy's religion more and more. The universe was a mistake and the gods don't listen. That's basically what he grew up with.
Uh-oh. Yeah. Alwyn's just going to join the Black Seers.
I mean, he's interested in religions in general, but one that's that close to the kind of worship that his people had for the outer gods, with the whole thing of we're not supposed to be here and the gods don't listen to you, is very much what he was preached when he was growing up. So I feel like he would definitely be interested in talking to this guy. I don't know how much lore you have offhand, or if we can just wave it away as they kind of talk to each other for a while type thing, but he would definitely be interested in talking to him.
All right. Well, Kira just gets bored, more and more bored.
Yeah, Kira starts, I don't know, carving her name into a desk somewhere. Oh, but she's an old lady. Dang it. So I guess she starts knitting.
She starts commenting on local news articles.
Yeah, posting on her Facebook. Being can you believe this? And it's just the poop emoji background for some reason that no one really knows.
And they have a wonderful time talking about how great it will be when terrible things happen to everyone and then there's no one left. And of course, one day there'll be an accident so big that Xiphus will take over for Pharasma herself, because all deaths will be accidental. He will own all the souls, all that good stuff.
So Xiphus teaches then that souls will continue on and Xiphus itself will still exist in the universe and gods and all that?
Well, until the inevitable end, which I don't suppose any mortal truly knows how the universe will end. Probably in some catastrophe that no one saw coming. And then there'll probably be a big gap where nobody knows what happens for a couple 100 years, and then everything will come back, and there'll be it's just a whole different game. A whole new ball game.
Kira's gonna go check the other rooms while we're talking. Yeah.
Bye!
Kira finds herself in a kind of cross-shaped hallway with a bunch of different doors in it. Now, it looks like there is a door that loops back over to the west, probably into that hall that you just came from. Then there are double doors to the east. And then far to the south, there are 3 whole doors.
Wow, this is dangerous. No one is here to tell me not to open doors.
Kira has no supervision.
And I have not had
right
Brixby's character development, so I'm just going to kick him open.
Yeah, you still hear Alwyn and that other guy talking in the distance.
This one has gray floors. Kira's going to go in. Aw.
Kira goes into this kind of small room where it looks like... This looks like a rather grim trophy room. There are skulls mounted on the walls and preserved pickled heads in jars, and they're they all have little plaques on them saying this is King such and such slain by Kevoth Kul on such and such a date, and there's just shelves of them, and they're everywhere. Dude's killed a lot of people.
With 39 perception, do I see anything super nice or stealable?
Doesn't look like there's anything particularly nice unless you're really into bones or pickled skulls.
Really into stickers, and that's about it. Gonna kick open this door.
With that perception check, I mean, you do see the like the names of clans that you know. Like, that looks like there's a couple of mountain fists in there that Kavathkul took down at some point. Vargas's name is not in there, in case you were worried.
Oh, good. Yeah, I think that's, if she saw a mountain fist, she would look for Vargas, and if she didn't see Vargas, she would leave.
Yeah, the other door out of that room goes back into the main hallway, which, a hell giant kind of turns when the door opens. But
I don't think Kira says anything, just closes the door back and leaves the room.
Those giant shrugs and goes back to whatever he was doing.
Is Alwyn still talking, or should I keep opening doors?
Did we get the name of this person he's been talking to? He probably would have asked their name at some point during the conversation.
He totally gives a name that I have in front of me, and I am not stalling at all. He has a name, and he tells you that his name is Rolga. Of course, my name is Rolga. Rolga of the Xiphons, of the Black Seers.
This order that you're part of, Rolga, the Black Seers, you're in the palace, so do you serve Kavathkul? Is he also a worshipper of Xiphus?
He worships Gorham, or one of those nonsense gods. We are part of Numeria. We are in the very blood of this country. This place is sacred to Xiphus. Every malfunction, every gun that goes off in its bearer's hand, Xiphus's will is working. They just kind of let us be here because we'll never leave, and they every few decades they'll try to root us out. We always come back.
Playing with your tambourines at the airport. They're just trying to...
So, your people, your group don't get along with the League then, it sounds like?
We don't care about the League. They suffer accidents just as often, if not more so, than others. You should see what happens to them when they go into that Silver Mountain. The ones that do come back, they come back in terrible shape. It's delightful.
Sounds very interesting. What kinds of horrible accidents have you seen happen to them? And I'll gladly roll a diplomacy at any point during this if I need to, if he's not willing to do all this on his own.
Yeah, go for it.
That is a 20 on the die, so that is a stupidly high roll. That is a 36.
Nice. He'll think for a second, and he'll say, well, the woman who used to be in charge, the blue woman, when she came out, she had lost one of her arms. It was there wasn't even a wound, which was the strangest thing. The arm was just gone. As after her, there was their current leader, the Zydo. He went in, and he was gone for I don't know how long, quite a while, but he came back without a mark on him. It was truly disappointing.
We knew the name of the one that was in charge before Zydo, right? Because that one we talked to that was held captive by what's-his-face told us about that, right? That Zydo took over from someone.
Yeah, Nolek had told us, Zernabeth.
Zernabeth, yeah. The blue woman... I've heard of someone named Zernabeth. Is that who that was?
Yes, that's her. She's the Winter Witch.
So, after she had her accident, she's not in charge anymore?
Oh, on the contrary. She came back from the mountain with no arm, but with great inspiration, and she seized control of the League and held it until Osmond came out of the mountain, and then he took control. It seems to be the order of things. You come back and you're not dead, then you're the new boss.
Trying to think if there's anything else I want to ask him about these ones. The League and the Sovereign, they seem to get along very well from what we've seen, which kind of surprises me. some of the other places I've been in Numeria, the locals don't like the League very much.
The Sovereign, I don't know if he's even aware of them half the time. He's in a drunken stupor or on something far worse than the drink. Always, and they operate right under his nose, and he'd be surprised if you told him. But then he'd forget 5 minutes later.
Actually, wait, we have like magical mental connection, so Alwyn would be sharing all of this in real time. Does anybody have anything else they think he should ask this guy?
Maybe ask a little bit about like what the Church of Xiphus and Faith of Xiphus does inside the city. Like maybe what their role is kind of outside of the palace.
So these Black Seekers that you're part of, if I were to join this organization like you're talked about, what kind of things do you do? Do you just wait around hoping for accidents to happen? Do you preach? You said that you're not really big into that. What exactly involves being a Black Seer or Black Seeker?
We are helpful. We find the people who find little bits of technology. They find these items that are perhaps broken or decayed from so long in the earth, and we help them learn how to use them. We help them, get over their fears of the items and perhaps their poor condition and the little sparks that fly now and then, and we shepherd them along towards their merry ends. Just quiet little busy work.
Geek Squad at Best Buy helping grandparents use social media for the first time, basically.
So it sounds like then that your seekers probably know most of the people in the city who have technology or have access to it. That's very impressive.
Perhaps between all of us.
I mean, that's definitely something that could be interesting. They might know people that have stuff or like where to find people. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Like, he'll probably talk shop with them until he sees Kira again, but I think that's pretty much it as far as like actual important questions.
Okay, so what's Kira doing while Alwyn's having an extended time with her, with his new friend?
Kira is a teenager mentally, but Izzy is old. So Izzy's going to try all these left-hand side doors first. Boop. Great.
Popping open this room, it looks like a training room. There are sparring dummies. Doesn't look like there's anybody in here, but there's armor on the wall, there's crossbows, there's bolts, and there's weird spear-like things. 3 of them propped up against the wall.
Man, I'm real tempted to steal those, but I won't. Okay, let me do a quick perception check. That was not a good perception check. That's a 4 on the die for a 36.
Yeah, it looks like the most interesting thing in this room is those weird spear-like things.
Can I look at them more closely?
Sure.
Like, can I perceive them? I can't like do a magic or whatever, but
yeah,
or whatever.
it
That's
would
Arcana.
Be like magic or engineering to figure out what they are. I mean, you can tell that they are like double weapons, like they have blades on both sides, so like if you had it would almost be like you had 2 weapons at once. But you can also see that they use a battery for something, but probably outside of Kira's wheelhouse.
Does it look like it's within anybody else's wheelhouse?
I mean, you think
Like
any of
maybe.
your smart friends might be able to figure this guy out.
I'm going to make a mental note. I'm going to make a mental note to come back here with a smarter friend. And sneak out the door, and I'm going to check this one real quick. Can I hear anything? I'm going to perceive.
Sounds pretty
this
quiet.
This is all below 10. That's 34.
Sounds pretty quiet out there. It sounds like this door might actually lead outside.
Up. Yep. Close that.
Yeah, if you open it up, it just looks like there's a nice but wild and overgrown garden out there.
Okay. Well, I haven't seen any frantic messages telling me not to open all the doors come in. So I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna stall for a second, see if anyone sends those. No one is sending them, so I'm gonna check this other door. Woo!
You got gray floors in there. Definitely doesn't look open to the public, but it appears to be a fancy bedroom. Somebody lives here or stays here anyways. You've got all sorts of lavish amenities there.
Yeah. Is there a bed?
Yeah, there is a bed. There are couches. There is a freestanding bath with one of those fold-up screen walls, so you can like wrap it around it and get the privacy. It's a cool room.
Get right in that bed.
I really hope this is Cool's room because that would be hilarious.
Yeah, Kira's gonna get in the bed and I guess do a perception check on the room from there. My rolls keep getting lower. That is a 1 for a 33.
Well, with a 1, there's doors here. Looks like one of them leads back out into that garden. Another one leads south into another, looks like another tower room at the end of the building. It doesn't seem like, with your 500 bajillion perception, that anybody lives in this room. It seems like kind of like a temporary or like a guest quarters kind of thing. Like if somebody fancy was staying here.
Right. So what you're saying is that people don't usually use this bed.
Right. That this
bed...
bed...
Kira gets right out of that bed. That's disgusting.
It has empty bed vibes. It's like...
Yeah, no. If this is an unused bed, she doesn't want it. Gonna open these doors for good measure.
Yep, that door there on the south leads into another circular tower room that appears to be more guest beds. It looks like this one is designed for more people, where there are folding wooden partitions that can divide it up into 4 separate sleeping areas.
God, I need to stop drinking this water. All right, we're sprinting now. We are jogging down the hallway. Oops. Gonna get back to dragging my token because that's faster. We're gonna just check these double doors real quick and then everyone can go to bed. Hope I don't regret this. Oh, I was kind of hoping I would regret it.
I mean, you open up the door and you find a set of gates leading to the outside, and there are a couple little smaller rooms there that look like they... it's hard to say exactly what's in them, but they're definitely tiny little rooms. But this definitely leads outside and beyond the confines of the palace.
Does Kira see one more door to her east?
This guy? Yeah, that's like the gate that leads into the outside.
Aw. Didn't find anything interesting. All right. Well, Kira's going to do a quick perception on the outside just to make sure there's not a magical sword hidden in a stone or something. Shockingly, that is another 1 on a different dice.
And it doesn't seem like there's anything obvious in here. Though actually, as she turns around and is looking back at like going into the palace, it looks like there are secret doors in these walls here that conceal other rooms.
Secret doors. All right, we gotta check those doors out. I have no self-control. Do I need to perceive the doors, or can I open the door? Are the doors locked?
You can just open them. I weirdly didn't draw them on the map, so I'm just gonna blow this wall away to reveal, opening up the door to see there are 4 guards stationed in there, and one of them's like, "Oh, what are you doing? You can't be in here."
Is this the bathroom?
This is not the bathroom, old woman.
Oh, okay.
You need to get back to where you're allowed to be.
Of course I will. Just really quickly, is there anything exciting in there, or should I just go?
There's just regular stuff here. We're just, guarding the palace. But we're supposed to be secret.
I'm gonna do a quick sense motive. So fast. And then everyone can go to bed, I promise. That's another 1, putting that dice away. I don't know. For a sense motive, it's like a 4. It's a 4 sense motive.
It seems legit. These guards are supposed to be hidden, and you kind of blew up their spot with your good vision.
Yeah. All right, I'll be on my way. Sorry, I thought this was the bathroom.
We are very annoyed with you.
Oh, just like my son-in-law. And then she's just gonna go. Hello, I've been here the whole time. She is sharing a square with that guy.
Kira returns to Alwyn after her adventure. I assume around now Alwyn's conversation with the Black Seer is winding down, and they were, totally oblivious to Kira leaving, other than Alwyn knowing psychically what was going on, because they were having so much fun talking about everyone dying and the gods not worrying about it.
So, shall we reunite with the others? Here, I'll get off the guy.
Yes, thank you for the lovely talk. I'll keep your religion and your order in mind. Yeah, I think we would probably head back to the main hall to meet up with the other half of the group.
Gonna pet this dog again.
Yeah, there's all sorts of doors that lead back into the main hall where things are just as busy as usual. You're capable of reconnecting. You've checked all the doors you saw, except you didn't check the door on the north side of the Black Seer's room. And of course there are stairs in the kitchen, and there are some stairs at the far end of this long colonnaded hallway.
I'm gonna check out the stairs at the end of this long colonnaded hallway, Trazzy says telepathically.
I'm going to very quickly go open the door in that last room I was in that I just noticed as I was leaving.
Let's go together.
I guess I'll go with Tarazi.
If you could not open that door, that'd be great, my dear friend. It's just, I live in there, and we keep that on.
Sorry.
It's private.
I thought it might have been another spot with yellow tile.
No,
so it doesn't have yellow tile in there?
No, those are gray tiles. That's, it's my bed. I don't want anybody going in my bed.
Your bed, you say?
Why did you have an accident?
I'd like to roll a sense motive when he said his room has gray tile.
I keep all my best plans for accidents in
That's
there.
only a 10 on the die, so whether he's lying or not, I believe him.
That seems to probably be where his quarters are. Maybe that's all there is. Maybe it's not.
Yeah. Well, my question wasn't whether it was his private quarters. It was whether or not they painted the floor yellow in his private quarters.
Maybe they have been continuously removing the yellow tiles and turning them gray. Meanwhile, Tarazi ran clear off the map, all the way down at the bottom.
I haven't done this yet. I want to do a quick detect magic inside of the palace. Is there, any ongoing enchantments or anything else? I'm not looking for items to pilfer, but was just sort of thinking about, this place seemed warded, guarded, or enchanted in any way.
It doesn't seem like there's anything suffusing the place. There's no obvious everywhere there's magic or anything. I think if you do that to people, you're gonna see magic, but if you are just looking at the area, that seems quiet, magically speaking.
Excellent. Thank you.
Are we heading upstairs?
Let's go.
Yeah,
Are
let's
the
go.
stairs yellow?
Yeah, the
I
stairs are
wonder if
yellow.
the site's messing up for me. Let me reload it.
While you're refreshing, I am activating a different map.
Hooray. How refreshing.
We're on a different floor.
It was all yellow.
Well, heading up the yellow stairways takes you further up into the palace, looks like onto the second floor of who knows how many floors. The two different stairwells at the far end of the hallway converge on one stairwell that leads up into another huge colonnaded hall where there are stairs that go further up to your left and right as you proceed into the hallway. The chamber it's almost a copy of the one below it. It's not exactly the same, but it's another huge column-filled hallway with wide alcoves and just a boatload of these hill giants milling about in this place, possibly because this is one of the only rooms that's big enough for them to be in. It looks like a fun place. And as you come into this second floor of the Palace of Fallen Stars and just see a lot of giants in your face and a lot more doors, I'm going to bed.
Good night, Mordors.
Night, Sam and giants.
What
Good
is
night,
that?
Sam.
Simply walk into your good night.
Good night, Sam.
Is that a band, Sam and Giants? Why do I think Giants someone is a
They
band?
might be giants as
They
a
might
band.
be Sam.
Oh, they might be Sam.
They might be
Good night, ambient dogs.
They might be giants, and what are we going to do unless they are?
Mod against the machine. Against the machine.
Pot Against the Machine is property of Network Against the Machine LLC, all rights reserved. Pathfinder and the Iron Gods Adventure Path are property of Paizo Publishing. See their website for more details. Theme Against the Machine was written and performed by our own Zach. See the show notes for additional music and sound licensing. If you enjoyed the show, we encourage you to leave us a review.
Is your Audacity output correct, Forms?
Waveform.
Waveform.
Them Waverly Place forms.
Waveform.
Winona
Selena
Gomez.
Forms.
Oops.
That was her, right?
Probably.
Was this Waverly Place? I think that was her.
Or possibly Demi Lovato or one of those other ones.
No, I think Demi Lovato was in a different one.
Could be.
Now recording.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Which one? There was
Disney
one called
children's shows of the
Victorious
early 2000s.
that someone was in. Let's look that one up. Victorious.
I wasn't
That
watching
had.
Disney at that time. It was too cool.
I don't know who was in that one. Oh, her name was actually Victoria. Huh.
Harry Potter who?
Hero Lab.
Well, this came out like right at the same time as the first Harry Potter movie. That was absolutely Disney like jumping on that bandwagon.
Disney says, why not? We have our own.
Yeah.
We have Harry Potter at home.
We have our unscarred child. Behold.
This is definitely some of our best pre-show banter. We should keep it all in.
Finally, some fan
Join
service
us
for
next
the
week when we drop back another decade and talk about Hey Dude and Salute Your Shorts.
Scythe. Scythe.
Aw, yeah. Why can't I scroll? There we go. Really need to buy a mouse. I have a mouse. It's just not plugged in. Cut that out.
Oh. Earlier this evening, I was trying to explain Saved by the Bell to my kids. So
Nice. I think of that show often.
Couldn't find a trailer for Saved by the Bell.
we found a trailer
I can't
for
imagine there's not one on YouTube.
Good Morning Miss Bliss, but not Saved by the Bell.
But
itself.
not Saved by the Bell. That is weird.
I mean, maybe by then everybody just innately knew about Zach Morris.
Had already been saved.
Well, even just like a commercial for it or something. It's like these, like I remember, and I freaking loved it because they had like that commercial for Are You Afraid of the Dark that was just like a music video with clips from the show cut into it that they used to air all the time.
I did drop the trailer in the general chat.
Oh damn!
God, I used to
Not
love
you.
that
Oh,
show.
yeah, there you go.
Secret.
I dug deep on the Daily Motion. You know what it is.
Daily Motion, not even YouTube.
Yeah. Well, I bet you YouTube probably had it and they probably removed it from some kind of copyright thing or something because that's like what
That's too good.
about 90% of the content on Daily Motion is.
Daily Motion don't care.
Daily Motion's like, what? YouTube banned you? Come to Daily Motion.
Give me your tired and your poor.
What's
and
that? You want to
hungry.
post this entire 2.5-hour movie? Sure.
We don't
Turn it
care.
into a GIF.
No one's gonna sue you if it's here. No one knows this exists.
Right. I've got Audacity open. I've got Hero Lab.
Hero
There it
Lab?
is.
Yep.
Yes.
Was not on the screen I was expecting, and that is all I need because Discord is already running.
Hooray.
Right. Ready to clap in?
Yes. Wait, hold on. Almost.
Oh,
There
yep.
we go. Okay.
Stereo.
Oh man, now it's been more than 4 days since we played, so even though I'm editing the episode, I have no idea what happened last week.